Hello, investors. So I've got a great new property to bring your way today. I want to say, first of all, just how humbled and honored I am at the outpouring for this year's big May event. May seems like a long way away, but it's really just around the corner, isn't it? So, starting with the Facebook page, we're going to get into a property here in just a second. If you haven't already gotten on our Facebook page, this is a great way to stay up to date with what's going on. See properties that are getting reserved, new properties, sometimes before they even hit the web page. We put a lot of data in here that's good for you guys to be keeping up with. What to expect with future interest rates. So I've got a little article in here, why we've seen some tick up in interest rates, minor, but we still seen it. The stuff going on in Iran, jobs. We have plenty of jobs being created in America. We have a robust economy, and Europe is improving. So historically, rates are at an all-time low. And that's one of the reasons I speculate that so many homes have been sold recently. We're going into that new election year. So if interest rates are low, a lot of people are interested in buying cash flow properties. Search Facebook for Turnkey Invest. You're going to find us on there. Like the page, follow the page. You'll get updates that way. Also, of course, our foundation property management Facebook page is a great place to go. Like that one as well. You'll see how we are interacting with tenants. Just 3 years ago, if you'd have told me that Facebook would be a good place to find renters, I would have looked at you like you're crazy, but they're taking over. So right now, Facebook has become one of the big places for people to find rental properties. We post a house on Facebook, people start liking it and tagging it and sharing it with their friends. And I feel like I've got to keep up with how the world is changing so quickly, but people will tag their friend's name into a comment because they think their friend might be interested in the property. It starts a conversation. There's banter back and forth. Look at how cute the kitchen is. It's just around the corner from mom and dad. This house would be perfect for you. So you can watch the conversations happen right there on social media. All right, so from jameswachob.com, of course, you're going to hear about this until May. We already have sold out 10% of our seats for the 2020 Memphis in May Investment Summit. So this is a great time. Each year we bring investors to town, many past clients, some people that have never bought a rental property ever. So you'll have a wide variety of investors from the beginners to seasoned veterans. That's one of the most powerful parts about this event is you get 50 like-minded investors in a room for 2 days out in the field looking at properties together, and you can hear from actual people that have done this, what worked for them and what they would have done differently, what didn't work as well. So it's great to do that. When you leave here, you'll have people's cell phone numbers and email addresses and social media contact that you can now lean on as a mastermind for you when it comes to investing. It's great to talk to me and my team, but hey, having people in the audience that you get to meet that have actually had success at this, that's worth coming in itself. So we'll have a quick day of education. I'm not the kind of guy that can sit in a classroom. I know a lot of you guys aren't for a whole day. So we're going to meet different lenders. We're going to hear about investment strategies. We're going to talk about tax savings and how that benefits you as investors. We're going to get some really good stuff in about a half a day of education. Then we board a tour bus and we go down to the World Championship cooking contest for barbecue. Every year it's held in Memphis. There's 1 million people that come to Memphis for this event. It's a fun time. We get to relax, get to talk to each other about our investment strategies. And then the next day we get back on the same tour bus and we go see in properties. Now this is invaluable. We will see areas that we invest in. I mean, you'll know why when you leave Memphis. And I'm going to show you the areas we stay away from. And you'll know why. You'll see the strategies in place. You'll meet my team. And when you leave here, you'll have all the questions about investing in Memphis with turnkeyinvest.com that you might have had answered. I reserve specific properties for this tour every year. So as we're getting closer to the May event, you might see fewer properties on the website. And that's because they're being saved for the investors when they come to town. And there's no sales strategy behind that. I feel like if you're going to give up 2 days, maybe 3 days, when you put travel in there, from your family, from work commitments you have, pay for your flight, pay for your hotel, everything else is on us. I owe it to you to deliver some amazing properties. So from turnkeyinvest.com or jameswachob.com, that'll get you there. Today we're going to focus on a county-only tax property. What does that mean? So there's specific areas of town, and they're limited, where you only pay one tax. So if you are buying a property in the city of Memphis, you pay the Memphis tax and you pay the Shelby County tax, which is our county, Shelby County. In this instance, you only pay Shelby County taxes, but it's not in a rural area. It's right next to an area where you pay both taxes. And it can't become your only criteria. You're never going to be able to scale if you try to buy every house in a county-only area. But it sure is nice to pay 40% less taxes on a property. So let's talk about where this property is. So it's in the 38125 zip code. And I love Google Maps, how you can just put a zip code in and it highlights exactly that zip code. That's a good little trick for you guys to be able to use. The corporate headquarters for FedEx is over here to the right, just about 5 minutes from this house. The super hub for FedEx, a big employer in town, is just about 15 minutes to the west at our international airport. So it's right in the middle of the two bigger employers in town, FedEx Corporate, FedEx Super Hub. It's right near the interstate system, so you could be downtown in 20 minutes. So it's easy to get access from this house to other areas. Another little tip I like giving you guys is from Google Maps, saving properties. Puts that little heart on there. And so as you're looking at different properties, as you're growing a portfolio, when you're signed into your Google account, you can start seeing these. You can even label them and say, you know, this is the property I looked at but passed on for blank reason. This is my number one cash flow property, is how I've got some of mine labeled. So great area, just east of downtown, just west of Collierville and east of the airport, in an A-class neighborhood, county-only taxes, zip code 38125. Let's dig into the property. So first thing I'll pull up is a crime map. This is a great little area, very low crime. This map is available to anyone. So if you're buying properties in any city, I would highly suggest you use Trulia. If you haven't heard of that website, it's trulia.com. You put in a property's address, and one of the options they give you is a crime map, and it shows every crime that's been committed in the area in the past so many days. So great tool. In A-class areas, one of the criteria, there's several criteria I cover in other videos, low crime is on the list. So high ownership of homes by homeowners, low crime, this one fits those marks. The scope of work is minimal now because it was just purchased. It's under renovation. Renovations won't take long at all. This house would be ready and most likely tenant placed before you were able to buy the house. If you're not buying cash, it takes 30 to 45 days to complete all the paperwork, appraisal, inspection, home inspection, termite inspection, all those things that come along with it. One of the tools I give you in the diligence vault, and just so in case you're a first-time visitor, from the website, it says click here for more information. That's how you get to all this information. It opens what I call the diligence vault. And in there, my job is to give you all the information that I would need as an investor to buy a house out of state. I'd want to know about crime. I'd want to know about what work has been done on the home. Right here, I want to know about comparable sales. What are other homes selling for in the immediate vicinity within the same age range? So in other words, you wouldn't take a house built in the 50s and a house built in 2010 and use it as a comparable. So they need to be in the same age range, same square footage range, bedroom, bathroom count, but vicinity is a key one. So a lot of people might show you comparable sales and they're across town. Well, that's one way to do it, but the way an appraiser is going to do it is he's going to look within the vicinity and those parameters that I went through, and that's how they're going to pick what they call in the industry your comps. Comps is industry jargon for comparable sales. So here's another example. If you have fully renovated a house, and the house across the street recently sold, but it had never had a renovation, old roof, old AC, and falling down. It's not comparable. So it has to be comparable in all those ways, even condition. So if we scroll up, you'll see that it gives you all the data: sales price, sales price per square foot, age of the home, square footage of the home. All of these things are listed, and it even gives you more detail in the folder. You can click on each of the comparable sales or comps and see all of the data in there. All righty. Next thing, all right, so you have a sales comp. So now you know that the house is going to appraise. By the way, this house easily appraises. As you dig into the comparable sales, this house could sell for much higher, but to make the cash flow so attractive, we're capped because we know it's not going to rent for more than $1,400 a month. Therefore, it caps the price that we could sell it to our investor, and it still cash flows. So we give you Rentometer. So we have a pro account. You can sign up for a pro account if you're really into getting into the details, or you can borrow mine right here. I've got it printed out for you for this area. It shows you every house that has rented in the immediate vicinity. It even goes further out than I would like to see it, but you can see houses renting from $1,700 a month all the way down to $650. You know, that house is a long way away, but it gives you all the data. So now you have data to prove that the house is worth what you're paying for it and that it's going to rent for what we say it's going to rent for. So this data is invaluable. Then you're going to have a pro forma, and a pro forma is a simple financial indication of what you should expect from this property. When you purchase this property, it would take 20% down. We also have a 15% down loan program that on more executive level rentals like this one might be worth looking into. If you want more information on that, call me or my team from the website, click on the button that says talk to an advisor, or call the phone number right there. And we can hook you up with a lender that offers 15% down financing in a house like this. That could be a big savings of when it comes to cash out of pocket needed to purchase. But let's focus on this pro forma. If you were to put 20% down plus your closing costs, that's what you need out of pocket to purchase this house, $37,200. Now it's going to rent for $1,395 a month. And if we multiplied that by 12 and subtracted all of your expenses, which are detailed in the bottom right-hand corner, we get your net operating income. So your net operating income on this property is a little over $12,000. If we divide the $12,000 into the total cash out of your pocket to purchase the property, that gives us the number one thing you guys are asking me about: cash on cash return. Simplified, how much cash does it take for me to purchase this house? And based on the cash that I initially invested, what is my annual return after all expenses? All righty. So the next thing we'll have in here is what I call a property data sheet. This is all the information that I have as a real estate broker in the state of Tennessee available to you, and it is going to give you tax information. So no approximate numbers when it comes to taxes on my website, exactly from the tax assessor on each property. Now, I won't spend too long on this because I've got it in other videos, but that's one of the big things people like about investing in Memphis is that every 4 years we have a reassessment of our taxes. Our next one is in 2021. So you're locked in at this $1,200 a month until we reassess the taxes again. Now, in other cities, if they see that you just did a big renovation on a property and now the home is worth more money, they come to you for more taxes. In the Mid-South, that's not how it works. So here is a more fair approach to homeowners. We don't want to start taxing people out of their homes, homeowners out of their homes. That for sure, that would be a bad thing. So they take the immediate area, they get a median sales price for that area, and that's how you're reassessed. Simple and easy, and you as the investor are not penalized because you have now upgraded the property, really upgraded the neighborhood. So that's in other areas, they're seeing that. They buy a turnkey property that the provider bought inexpensively because it was in bad shape. They just did a $30,000 renovation. They see permits were pulled, And guess what? That municipality wants more money. Well, you're not going to see that in Memphis unless things change, but there's no talk about that. So that's a real comfort you have about buying properties, that the taxes are very fair on your property. Then you're going to have all of the different data from 3 different sources, ideally. This MAR MLS was entered in 2012 by a realtor. Now, I am a realtor. I have 2 real estate brokerages, but sadly, this is sometimes the least accurate information. Then you have the assessor, so the tax assessor. This is usually more accurate. The best information when it's available is from the appraiser, because the appraiser actually takes a tape measure to the property. Now, unless you pay cash, you will be getting an appraisal on this property, and you're going to know exactly what the square footage is on this property, and that will be entered in to our database forever moving forward. Legal description, so very rarely would you ever need that, but this is an important one: flood zone. So a lot of people ask me, James, I'm buying this house in another city, but it needs flood insurance, but it still cash flows. What are your thoughts? Well, exit strategies. So maybe one day when you go to sell it, then buyers that are interested, maybe they aren't so keen on having a property that requires flood insurance. Maybe it's a homeowner and they sure don't want to pay flood insurance. Memphis is practically flood proof. So I've got an article that I wrote, and I can share that with you guys if you'd like to read that, called "Is Memphis Really Flood Proof?" Well, nothing is flood proof. But here you'll see at the bottom of this property data sheet from FEMA, it says that this property will not flood in the next 500 years. Minimal risk, flood zone X. That's what you want to see every time you buy an investment property. So always look into that. If it's on my site, I can't imagine bringing you a property in the flood zone in the near future, but if we do, it better have huge cash flow, right? Foundation property management. So, what is Turnkey Invest? What is Turnkey? Turnkey is bringing you everything under one roof that an investor needs to succeed from thousands of miles away. We have it all packaged here and given to you on a silver platter, because you don't need to buy a property, then go find good property management. You don't need to do the renovations or schedule any of the inspections. My team takes care of all of those things. And we are married to you for the near future, for the unforeseeable future, because not only are we bringing you great properties, we're then managing them. So we're going to have a relationship moving forward. And I want to set myself up for success as much as I want to set you up for success. So buying in the right neighborhoods, doing a great renovation, buying in neighborhoods that quality tenants want to live in. So those are all key things. And so from here, you'll get a lot of information. You can meet the team and see who it is that you're working with. Dawn Kennard is my partner and our principal broker, and she is absolutely the best property manager, because she treats these properties as if they were her own. Every repair, every tenant she places is done as if she owned it herself. Anything I have to do with it is, if I own this property, how would I react? Let's step back there though. If this was my property, how would I proactively manage this property to affect my bottom line in a positive way, so that we're not reacting all the time? So being proactive in property management is one of the key things. Answering the phone is a key in real estate. The number one problem in real estate, and my whole team will chime in one accord and say, people don't answer the phone. And it's true. So we have specialists on staff that answer every phone call for a potential tenant who's wanting to rent your property. They answer every Facebook message, every text message, quickly, responsively, because that's why properties don't get rented quickly, because they might be in a bad area, they don't smell nice. People aren't answering the phone on the property management side. So we are actively answering the phone, following up with clients. We want to keep you in touch and say, hey guys, so we've got 4 showings on the property today, give you the data you need to know that we're doing everything in our power to get your house rented. So on and so on. You'll see our team there. So back to turnkeyinvest.com. You'll see the big May 2020 Memphis in May Investment Summit. If you click on the button that says apply for your free tickets, it's going to pull up a quick survey. You fill this out. If you're just interested, you're not buying a ticket. The tickets are free. But apply here. We want to just know a little bit about you, what your investment strategy looks like moving forward. Someone from my team will reach out to you, ask a few questions, tell you about the event. If you have questions, we'll answer those. We'll tell you how to get your discounted room rate because we have a block of rooms. It is limited. So you're not paying full price for the hotel stay. You don't need to rent a car. Get an Uber to the venue. Where you're staying is where we'll have the conference. So it's very convenient. It's within walking distance to all the cool places to eat. We're going to feed you a lot while you're here, so don't worry about that. If you want to rent a car and explore Memphis while you're here, we'll give you some suggestions. We'll give you a list of all the properties. A lot of you guys like to come in early, drive all the properties beforehand, and get that upper hand on the other investors that are going to be here. Some of you stay after the event, and we love that. Come to the office, get some one-on-one time where we can dig into strategy and pretty much get out of view what you want to accomplish. You tell me your goals, the buying criteria for the houses that you're interested in. Then it's my job to execute on that and be a catalyst to help you succeed in your investment career moving forward. From acquisitions, where we're going to buy, renovations, the type of renovation we are constantly improving all the time and making even better and better. And then property management that has got you taken care of. All the details are handled for you. It makes it a more passive income. And that's what we want to do for you. So if you haven't signed up for the event, we'd love to have you. If you can't make it, you can always come another time. We'd have 2 to 3 people in per week that we tour Memphis with. They meet the team, they get out and see some properties and see if we're a fit. Thank you for your time. If you're interested in one of our properties, reach out to the team. If you have more questions, dig into the diligence vault, click on the button that says, more information, click here. Most of your questions are answered there, but we'd love to speak to you one-on-one. Book a trip to Memphis. We'll put you in the car, tour you around. You'll go to work with us for the day. And when you leave here, you'll feel comfortable that our team has everything that you need to succeed. Thanks, and I appreciate your business.